We want to begin with the areas of Sonoma County still under a flood warning. That includes the towns of Jenner, Monterrey, Guerneville, Rio Neto, and Hacienda.
Here's the very latest. The Russian River is still above flood stage this evening after damaging an estimated 3,000 structures. The town of Guerneville completely cut off. Main roads into the community are still underwater. And the governor has issued emergency proclamation for 5 counties, including Sonoma, to get the ball rolling towards recovery. KPIX 5's Wilson Walker live near Guerneville with a closer look at the damage tonight. Wilson?
Well, look, the water finally started to recede today. The bad news, the receding water is just giving us our first glimpse at the damage done by this flood.
Yeah, I mean, when you saw me coming out, it was the first time that I stepped out, and I honestly were just the biggest thing to fight when it floods is just boredom out here.
For Dylan Saltzer and his family, this has been a long 3 days stranded inside their home.
I stood right here, and you can even see along it where the water brought a bunch of gunk and stuff.
The water just now low enough that he can wade through the street and survey the damage in their neighborhood alongside the Russian River.
And I mean, some houses, it's definitely going to be worse than others. It really, you never know until the water gets down. Other people who aren't as familiar with the area, because we have a lot of new neighbors, so I don't know how much time they had to get stuff out.
But while the water is receding here, many roads are still only passable by boat, so a lot of people spent yet another day just waiting to get back to their homes.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just about the same as the fires, you know, except we get to go back and clean it up.
And where the water has receded, the cleanup is already underway, not just in people's homes and businesses, but also along just about every single road that flooded here.
Oh yeah, definitely so. As the water recedes, the cars show up.
Just sort of perspective, you know, having been out here through a couple floods, I mean, sort of put this one up against the other ones.
Yeah, it definitely is the worst one out of all of them. Water came up just super fast. So it was definitely the fastest I've ever seen, but I've only been out here for 20 years, so.
All right, so Russian River obviously finally starting to recede. River Road still blocked. You can get a little bit further west of where we are. We're kind of on the edge of Forestville, but the roads are still blocked in pretty much every direction. The mudslide I showed you yesterday, still there. The roads are kind of opening up in some directions, but as we showed you, still a lot of people moving around by boat, people lined up in cars at roadblocks, kind of waiting to get back into areas where the water is just now starting to back off. So again, the sort of the front end of the water receding here, and as it moves back, we'll get a better idea of the damage that was done. More people getting back into their homes to see what has been left behind. We are live in Forestville. Wilson Walker, KPIX 5.
And Wilson, I know they're anxious. You know, the sun comes out, the water level starts to drop a little bit. They want to see what the damage is. But certainly the people you talk to, and we'll talk to Paul about this. Oh, did we lose Wilson's camera? All right, we'll move on. Wilson Walker in Guerneville, thanks. We want to give you a look at what's been going on today in the flood zone. Chopper 5 showing this National Guard vehicle called into Guerneville. They were sent to rescue those who stayed behind. The Guard unit's using special high-clearance trucks that can handle flooded roadways. We can give you a little comparison of how far the river levels have fallen there in Guerneville. Chopper 5 yesterday over the Safeway parking lot. That was as the river was still rising, so the water nearly to the store entrance. That delivery truck surrounded by water. Now take a look at the parking lot today. The water has receded. Only a section of the parking lot flooded. That Safeway trailer no longer completely surrounded.